Hey guys, I have been crying all day, y'all. I think it's about time for the period to come. So, today, I've been crying, watching fucking TikToks all morning long. I just signed on and I found a TikTok with a lady who was doing her niece's hair. Little black girl. She had mats, just her whole head was matted up. And the little girl was 10 years old. So imagine that little girl was going to school like that. Being embarrassed. And the lady was taping herself do the little girl's hair. And she said that the mom was a crackhead. And I was like, damn, I need to say something. I need to talk about that. You know, I was in addiction for many, many years. Hey, RJ, what's up? I was addicted to drugs for a long time. I never neglected my son to the point where I didn't neglect my son at all. I didn't leave my son, out of my sight, unless he was with my mother and father-in-law. But I know that there's a lot of people whose kids, get like really badly neglected because of their addictions. And honestly, like that's because more family has to step up, A lot of families turn a blind eye, dude, and they act like, nothing's going on because they don't want to get involved. It's like you have to step in, and get involved. What the fuck, dude? Did y'all see this? 24-year-old woman drowns in pool while on Facebook Live? Holy shit. Hey, girl, what's up? I want to read this to you guys. Oh, cool. You got a new pharmacy? Good. That's great. Okay, listen to this, y'all. Cabot, Arkansas. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas. What's up? What's that, girl? You're just right down the street from me. People have got to step in and help these kids, y'all. People got to step in and help these kids. Okay, like, I'm like breaking down watching these videos today, y'all. Today I cried because I watched this other guy's video that he aged out of the foster care system. And I literally started crying my eyes out because I thought about all these kids who, they age out of foster care. They have no families to take care of them after that. What happens after that, Hey, Linda. Thanks, girl. Oh, yeah, you can come over here anytime, girl. I'm always at home chilling. I'm like right in the middle of Little Rock on Cantrell. Oh, that's good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. She got her shit together. Your sister. It's so sad, you guys. It makes me want to do more. I wish I was in a better financial situation to where I could, like, maybe be a foster parent or maybe go and do things, with kids that don't have families. But I'm really just not in the position financially to be able to do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we're just making it, me and my family. But I want to be able to do so much more. And I see all these videos. I just really want to get involved with CPS, and I want to help children who are going through the system because I lost, losing my son and having him go through it. I was so fortunate that the foster family he was placed with were kind, good people. A lot of kids are not that lucky. A lot of kids get placed with horrible motherfucking people, okay, who beat them, who fucking cuss at them and all kinds of stuff. So I want to be able to help kids, Oh, you were locked up? Okay, girl. I'm trying. Well, y'all, I have a really big heart, and sometimes it's too big because I get myself in trouble. Like, let me tell y'all what happened just this last week. This last week, a guy from TikTok who is in recovery messaged me, and he has been doing so good in his recovery. He said, Nicole, I'm stranded at the bus station, and I need to get back to my town. And I was like, okay, I got you. What you need, man? And he's like, I need $90. So I sent him $100. You know, not even thinking about it. And I'm not naive. I am not naive, you know? And I sent him the $100, and then I texted him the next morning to make sure he got to where he was going okay. And he was like, I relapsed, Nicole. I fucking lied to you. And I'm like, oh my God, how naive could I have been? Like, this happens to me all the time here on TikTok, y'all. Like, people will hit me up, and I have such a fucking big heart that I fucking send them money, dude. And like I said, I'm not in a financial situation to be sending people money. And my husband is like, where did that $100 go? Who did you send that to? You know? And I'm just like, man, I gotta stop. I gotta start using my motherfucking brain. I just care about people, and I don't want them to have to struggle, you know? So if I can help somebody, I'll try to help them, you know? But, yeah. Hey, Carrie, what's up? Listen to this, you guys. A girl that was 24 years old, she drowned in a pool while on Facebook. Okay, listen. The nurse was swimming at Key Motel in Chatsworth, Ontario, when the incident occurred. She was smiling and engaging with her viewers in the now deleted video. I'm feeling good, she's heard saying moments after going live. Naya Buto reportedly ducked her head under the pool a few times just fine, but about 10 minutes into the live stream, she was seen struggling to get some air. The video then turned into a nightmare for viewers. She appears to dive into the deeper end of the pool before she's seen kicking and waving her arms. She made her last sound 11 minutes into the video before anything went silent. What? Unfortunately, the live stream video rolled for 3 more hours before men discovered her body. The men mistook her for a dog at first because of her curly hair. I thought it's a poodle or something, one man said when asked by the other what was in the water. Then they realized it was a lady. Wow, that sucks. How do you drown in the pool and that you can touch in? You know, at hotel pools you can touch. And so, I don't know. She was a black lady, and that was in Ontario, so that's Canada, right? That is fucking tragic. What I don't understand is why does Facebook not have people monitoring the videos and like shut it down? Like if it's something like that happening, they just let it roll on for hours and hours and hours. I got to teach Nate how to swim because he is really scared of the water. And it makes me so sad because when I was a kid, I loved swimming, you know, but my dad threw me in the deep end. That's how I learned how to swim. He threw me in the water. How did your parents teach y'all how to swim? Anyway, y'all are going to see my videos today. I was crying in them. Crying in one of the videos because this guy is just like fucking such an emotional video watching him go around and help these kids that are in foster care, you know? Yeah, right. I hope they would have, you know, I don't know if they knew or not, but that's fucking tragic, dude, you know? That's tragic. You were a natural. I guess me and my sisters were too, because I don't really remember struggling at all. I just remember my dad throwing me in. Also, I got to tell you guys, do y'all follow Sober Barbie here on TikTok? She is really, really working hard to try and get her daughter back in her care, into living with her, and she just cannot catch a break. She's in Massachusetts, I think, and she needs help finding a place that will rent to her. Like, do you guys have any ideas how to help her with that? Because she's a good mother, dude, and she's been fighting for her baby for a minute now. For a minute. And she's a good mom. Her name is Sober Barbie. She's a good mom. She is, you know, she had a drug addiction, but she's done everything. She's jumped through fucking hoops for CPS, okay? So I want to help her get help, you know, because she's a good person and she deserves to have her kid back, you know? It pisses me off, dude, because it's like she's done everything they've asked her to do, you know? It's really sad. Yeah, so that's what I need to tell my freaking mother-in-law, because I don't know why she thinks we're just going to be able to just move out of here and find a home real quick like it's nothing. Like, everybody I've talked to is telling me how much they are struggling with finding housing, you know? See, she works a full-time job, so she makes about $1,900 after taxes every month. And so I think that's why she hasn't been able to get into like shelters and stuff, because she has income. And right now she's in a sober living house. Sorry guys, she also made a GoFundMe, and I don't know how that went. Let me go look on her page and see how the GoFundMe went. I try to tell people, like, if they're if you're not making content online, you need to, because that's a way that you can make money, you know, like on Facebook. Unfortunately, you know, my shit's too real. My videos are too fucking real for TV, okay? They're too real for social media. And I always get fucking demonetized, so I don't even fucking try no more. But if you're not making content that, on TikTok or on Facebook and Instagram, you can get paid, y'all. You can get paid. Let me look, Tiffany. Hold on a second. Thank you. She lives, I know it's close to Boston, I think. I'm not sure. I thought it would say it on her profile. I can call her, though. I have her cell phone number. I can message her. She really, really she's done everything. She's done everything. The only thing holding her back from having her baby girl that is like just 2 years old, I think, maybe just turned 2, is housing. That's it. That's it. So what I was telling you guys is, if you're not making content on Facebook and Instagram, you're really missing out. I make about $250 from my Instagram account, and about $250 to $300 from Facebook, and then $200 from my YouTube channel. So that's like $600 extra each month, you know, and sometimes it's more than that. And so all of you guys can become monetized on Facebook and Instagram. Just be prepared when you start posting on Facebook to get at least it's my experience. I get so much hate on Facebook, dude. Like, people make fun of my motherfucking teeth, dude, 24/7. I have perfect teeth, except for this one little tooth that sticks up a little bit more than the others. But other than that, my teeth are perfect. People make fun of me all the time. Literally all the time. It's crazy. It's honestly so crazy. I want to show you guys a picture of her and her daughter, so that way you'll see that it, you know, this is her and her little baby girl. Aren't they so cute? So, she's been sober. She works for a treatment center. She also works for a gas station or a corner store or something like that. So she's like working her ass off, you know, and she just needs help with housing. So, gosh, we got to find somebody that can help her, you know, somebody that can help her find an apartment or something. Oh yeah, it's so bad, Carrie. Honestly, like I had gotten used to a little bit of the hate over here on TikTok, and that's what kind of broke me in because over on YouTube, when I first started my YouTube channel, I really don't get a lot of hate on YouTube. But then when I started my Facebook, oh hell no. It was like a whole new it's like, damn, man, what the fuck? You know, like, what did I do wrong? Why are y'all tripping? They get mad at me. It's crazy. They get real mad at me on Facebook. They say that I'm giving medical advice and that I'm stupid and I shouldn't share anything and just all kinds of horrible stuff. So, if you ever make a video and you feel like you're the only one who gets hate, you're not. You are definitely not. It happens all the time. Hey, Ashley. Hey, guys. Oh, let me tell y'all this. They're so brutal that they'll come into my motherfucking DMs and they'll DM me and they'll be like, you skank ass bitch crackhead whore. You don't deserve to have your son. Death be upon you. And I will always message them back. And I'm like, do you feel better now? You got that off your chest? You know, like there's nothing that you can say to me that I haven't already said to myself, okay? When I lost custody of my son, I beat myself down. There's nothing that nobody can say to make me feel any worse. You know, I beat myself up about that. So when people come at me with that kind of stuff, I'm just like, can you do any, like, it's like old, like I'm used to it by now, but it's sad that I have to get used to that kind of treatment, but that's what it is on the internet. And it's because people are fucking miserable and they have no lives. It's bad. Pretty much was I've been trying really hard to cut down, and I have. So I get hundreds of messages every day on Facebook, hundreds, okay? And so it takes me about 2.5 to 3 hours to respond back to every message. Same here on TikTok is not as bad, though. TikTok is easy to answer messages, but yesterday I was answering a girl's message, and she was like, how do you answer all the messages with as many followers as you have? And I'm like, I just sit down, and I carve out an hour or two of my time, and I do it, you know, and I do it. Well, wouldn't you want to have your message answered back if you message somebody? Excuse me. Sorry about that, y'all. It was like stuck right here in my throat. A lot of people reach out to me because they are having questions, or they want to tell me about their sobriety, or they have a friend that needs help, you know, or a loved one. And so that's why I make sure that I message them back, you know. But I will tell you this. I know that when I get to a certain point, like 1 million followers or some shit, there's going to be no way I can do it. So you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to hire people to do it for me. I'm going to literally have to hire people to help me answer all these fucking messages. We're not to that point yet, though. I can still handle it on my own. Hey, RJ, I really pride myself on connecting with everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. I try to memorize y'all's faces when y'all are in the little, like right now, Carrie and Tiffany and Ashley, everybody that's in here. I try to memorize your faces so that way when you come back again, I'll know who you are. You know what I mean? And I also try to stick to what I say I'm going to do. Like if I say I'm going to go live at a certain time, I try to stay and go live at that time so y'all remember. Now, I've been fucking flaking really bad lately, y'all. Usually I'll go live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time here on TikTok, right? But now that I've got such a big following over on Facebook, I want to do more lives over there. Hey, what's up, man? Who is that with the user 6657? What's your name? I want to be able to go live over there too. So what I think I'm going to have to do is I think I'm going to have to set up 2 phones. I'm going to have to set up this phone with TikTok on it over here, and then another phone with YouTube and Facebook on it, because I can go live through StreamYards from YouTube onto Facebook. And that way I'll have YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook live, you know. But damn, that's a lot of work, y'all. Okay? It's a lot of work. But when I jump on, there's like, I got to start also like making a schedule of what we're going to talk about. Because there's no rhyme or reason to my live streams lately. I just get on and I start sharing stories and we start fucking jiving and it's fun, you know? So, hey, Kathy, what's up, girl? I have to figure something out. You love people. I can see that about you. Listen to me. I do. I love people. And the first time I realized that I loved helping people, like before, when I was a kid, I always was a helper. But when I got older and I started working, waiting tables, and then also in the makeup. I did makeup for a year as like a makeup artist at JCPenney, and I didn't have any formal training. They just brought me on, and I was already pretty good at it, but they, it helped me a little bit to learn some stuff, and then I started doing it for, a living, making money, and I loved it. I got to make people feel beautiful and confident, and I remember this one lady in particular. She was going to be in a bikini contest, okay? And she wanted to win. And I was like, bitch, you're going to win. I'm going to make sure of it. And so I did her makeup and I did it so beautiful. This woman was beautiful anyway. She had long brown hair, like passed down to her belly button, straight brown hair with little bangs like this. And she was about 44 or 45 years old, but she had big boobies, flat stomach, nice butt. And she looked like she might have had some liposuction or something like that done, but she was beautiful anyway. And we did her makeup like just brown, like a brown smoky eye, right? Just something simple so it wouldn't take away from just how pretty she was naturally. And she won. She won and she came back and she tipped me. And I was like, damn, that really made me have a lot of confidence in doing makeup. Then after that, I started waiting tables. And once I started waiting tables, I realized how much fun I loved it. I loved talking with people. I loved getting to know people. I would have my regulars that would come and they would only sit in my section. You know what I mean? Like that was the shit, man. When I worked at Rolando's, and I told y'all story times about Rolando's, I'm telling you guys, like I made so much money there, and it was because, I had so many people that just loved me. My service was impeccable. I never made you wait a long time for anything. And I would hook your ass up too. That's another thing that I was really good about doing. Like I would hook my people up, I would make sure that they got what they needed, and they made sure that that I got what I needed, money. So it was a good trade. I had so much fun though. So much fun. Then whenever me and my husband got together and I had my son, after giving birth to my son, hey Tink, what's up girl? And he got taken away from me. I wanted to help people so much in CPS after I got my son back. And I'll never forget it. So after I got my son back, 2 years after I got my son, Child Protective Services approached me and offered me a job, okay, to be a parent partner. And what that would be was I would partner with these mothers who had their children removed from their care, and I would be their mentor, and I would help them, get their lives back together, get their kids back. I would help them. I would walk them through the whole ordeal. I would help them get into meetings. I would help them with their addiction, all that. And I'll never forget it. They placed me with this girl who was developmentally disabled. Badly. Okay? Not something that badly. I'm just going to say that. Really badly developmentally disabled. Okay? And she lived in a rural area of Arkansas. Like way out in like where there was nothing around. No Walmart, no Kroger, no nothing. You know what I mean? And so she had like I don't know if she got raped or had sex with the guy, but there was some guy that was staying on her parents' property, and these were like people who had, like, the grandma lived there, the uncle lived, the whole family lived on this property, and this guy, got her pregnant, and she had the baby, and the baby was born with so many birth defects. Like, the baby had a shunt, the baby had to have one of those tubes in their stomach that feeds them, just so much stuff that this woman was not capable of doing, because this woman was not even capable of taking care of herself. And you guys, I would never say that about anybody unless it was really, really serious. But there was no way that she was ever going to be able to take care of that little baby. No way. And they placed me with her, and they were giving her like this false hope that she was going to get her kid back. And I just thought, this is so fucked up, dude. Why are y'all acting like she can even, like, when I tell you the girl couldn't read and write, which is still, that doesn't mean she can't take care of a baby, right? But she couldn't read and write. She was extremely mentally challenged. Like, she was probably a 10-year-old in her mind, maybe even younger than that. Like, very, very mentally challenged. And so it was so fucking evil, dude, how they were giving her this like sense of hope. And I was like, fuck y'all, I'm out of here. I can't do this shit. Y'all got me fucked up. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to this girl. You know what I mean? Like, somebody needs to sit down with her and tell her, like, it's in her best interest to give her baby up for adoption so the baby can get a help and get a healthy family. Because here's another thing. That little baby living on that remote piece of property with nothing around, like, they struggled. They were like poverty stricken. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to imagine like, Wrong Turn, where there's like, broke down houses all around. They're like fucking broke down cars all around, 5 or 6 trailers on the same property that have fucking holes in the walls everywhere, and the fucking, the ground's falling out of the fucking trailer. You can't walk on it because you'll fall through a hole. Like, I'm talking like really bad off. Really bad off. And there's people like that, here in Arkansas, everywhere, that are living in straight up, they're living in a shanty. It's barely held up by the walls, and they have kids in there. And that's what was happening in this situation. It was like all these relatives lived there, and she was destitute. They were destitute, and they weren't offering, like, her relatives like treated her. And I remember, because I talked to this girl on the phone forever. Like, she stayed connected with me, even though I said I couldn't take the job, because she didn't have anybody. She would call me on the nights and the weekends and stuff. And so, she ended up, honestly, I don't know what happened to her baby. All I know is that she was like telling me she had a boyfriend, which I think was some older man that was out there. And I was just telling her, like, not to let people take advantage of her. But her baby was in foster care. And I'm telling you guys, like, this baby needed around the clock care. That's how bad the little baby was off, I almost wondered if it was like a case of incest, where one of her family members had raped her and she had a baby, because that's kind of what that was the impression that I was getting from the whole situation. But I really did want to help people, but I could not do that. To me, like, I don't want to be connected with CPS. I don't want to be on CPS's side. I want to be on the other side of it. I want to be like working with CASA or the foster families or something like that to help people. You know what I mean? Because, I don't know, CPS and me, we got beef. I was watching, let me tell you all about one more thing. I found this lady's account, right? And at first, I was on her side, okay? She was making a video about her babies getting removed from her care. She was saying, CPS is taking my kids right now. This is not fair. And she was, like, videotaping it, talking. And it's here on Facebook. On TikTok. And I was listening, and I was like, oh, my God, I need to help her. How can I help? Well, then I went and did some further digging on her account. And she has a video where she tells why CPS took her kids. Let me tell y'all about it. Let me enlighten y'all. First of all, she got a new boyfriend. Boyfriend's name is Robert, and he's got like abuse charges and felony charges and shit like that. So CPS didn't want him around because of this reason. One day he was throwing her toddler, 2-year-old, up in the air and missed the catch. And the little baby fell and busted his face open, busted his lip, split his lip open. How do you miss a 2-year-old flying out of the air? Okay, that's not the only thing. Second thing, he was preparing a bottle for the baby and he accidentally left the stove on, picked the little boy up and sat him on the stove, on the burner. How the fuck do you do that? That's not the only thing. He was picking the little boy up by his ankle, holding him upside down, and the little baby had a spinal injury. I was like, hold on, let me delete my comments. Bitch, you guys, that's fucked up. Like, your dude is fucking, whether he meant to or not, whether every one of those things were an accident. Yeah, your babies need to be removed, and y'all need to go to parenting classes, and y'all need to fucking learn how to pay the fuck attention. Okay? Like, I can understand, like, one accident, you know? My son maybe has one accident a year, okay? One accident where he, like, injures himself, right? And listen, I'm even saying for, like, rowdy boys, I know rowdy boys get hurt a lot, but they get hurt because they're outside playing or they're wrestling. This was, like, at the hands of an adult, you know? This is a 2-year-old little baby. And that's the thing, Juliana, that's not even the whole fucking story probably, you know? And so CPS had told her that she needed to remove that dude from her. She didn't need to be with that dude or she would have her children taken away. And I guess she didn't want to leave the dude, so they took her kids away. Now, that right there to me is like, you're willing to fucking choose your old man over your babies? Do you know what I'm saying? So like, for example, last year, my son had his friend Brooks over, okay? And they were outside playing in the front yard. And over at our neighbor's house, they have like a tree house and everything. So the boys always go over there and play in the tree house. Well, the neighbors had a trailer hooked up to, or a trailer on the side of the house, and then a truck that pulls the trailer. And the truck had that, you know how they hitch the trailer on that big metal ball thing? That thing was sticking out. Well, Brooks and Nate were racing each other, and Brooks tripped, and he went head first into that trailer hitch. Okay, and I'm like standing upstairs folding laundry. I have the window open so I can hear the boys, and I hear bloody murder screaming. So I take off running across the street, and my next door neighbor's carrying him, and he's got paper towels on his head, and there's blood everywhere. And so I grab him, and I run home, and I lay him on the couch, and I send Nate to get me a handkerchief, a Band-Aid, and a wash rag, okay? And Nate is off, runs upstairs to get me a bandana, you know, a wash rag and a Band-Aid. And so Nate comes back down, and I lift that paper towel off Brooks' head, and I could see his motherfucking skull. Okay, that's how split it was. And I was like, I wanted to freak out. But I was like, it is not even that bad, Brooks. Oh my gosh, you're going to be just fine. And I called his mom, and I was like, hey, do you want me to take him to the emergency room, or do you want to come over and get him? She's like, we're coming. And I was like, okay. So I was like, oh, it's not even that bad. And so I started, you know, cleaning it up a little bit. I put the Band-Aid over it, and then I put that cloth, the rag that I had Nate get over it, and then I tied the bandana around his head to hold that fucking, you know, thing on there. And his mom got there. She was like, oh my God, you did such a good job. And I was like, I remember one time when I was a little girl, me and my sisters were outside playing, and we had chickens in our backyard. All kinds of chickens. A rooster and some red hens, and then the black hens with the white polka dots. And these chickens we loved these chickens. We fucking raised them from babies, okay? Well, my sister was throwing rocks, and she threw a rock, hit me plumb in the head, split my head open. And I remember, like yesterday, my mom coming and getting me and tying something around my head to stop it from bleeding, to keep pressure on it. And so ever since then, you know, I'm prepared for all situations. But that was with Brooks, you know, and of course you could see that he fell and he hit his head. Well, Nathaniel, when he was little, over at Brooks's house, of course, they were riding on this go-kart thing. And Nate had no shoes and socks on. Don't ask me why. When I got there, I was like, why didn't you have shoes and socks on? So he couldn't drag his feet to slow them down, right? And they are going down this freaking hill like this while they hit a tree. I mean, they hit a tree and Nate flew face first off this fucking go-kart and skid across the asphalt on his knees. And so he had these big gash holes that were just bleeding, and he was crying his eyes out, you know? And so, when I got over there, they were like, we don't know what to do. He's upset, you know, because he doesn't want nobody else to help him. So I had to go over there and clean him up. But just like incidents like that, I can understand, you know? Even like an incident, let me tell y'all an incident that happened to my cousin when he was little. So I was probably like 7, and we were in California with my mom and my dad and my sisters at my grandma's house. And my little cousin Robert, somebody was ironing clothes, and Bobo was like 3 years old. Okay. He was just getting to that height where he could start reaching stuff. And he put his hand directly on the iron. The iron was sitting up like this. He walked over and put his hand on it. And my dad had just come in the room and seen it happen and pulled him away from the iron, and his hand was burned, you know? So they wrapped it up and they had to take him to the emergency room. It was bad. The blister ended up being across his whole hand like this. But even a situation like that was an accident. You know, that could happen to somebody, right? You should be always in the room. If you have an iron on, if you have children, you should always be paying attention to them. But even like something like that, I can understand. But to throw your kid up in the air and miss him, to hang the baby upside down from his ankle, to put him on the motherfucking stove and burn his ass, like, that's fucking horrible, dude. That's horrible. It almost sounds like her dude, like, maybe gets off on it, you know? Because there's some people that, like, they just don't like kids, and they like picking at them, you know? And they like inflicting pain on kids for no reason. Yeah, accident over and over again. It's sad, man. It's sad. This guy, listen to this, you guys. So I put up a post on my page on Facebook, and I told everybody to show me their sober selfies, right? And my friend Lucky literally sent me a fucking picture of him when he was in active addiction. And it says, I went searching my whole room for pieces of cotton that morning, for looking for old cottons. But then he has one of him clean and sober in church. So that's good. I do always worry, having dealt with CPS before, about accidents and having to go to the ER and them thinking it's abuse. Yeah, Juliana, I know how you feel, girl. I worry about that kind of stuff too. I really, really do. But you know, I would hope that, I don't know how they gauge whether they think it's an accident or not. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say, for instance, like a kid that breaks their arm. Like, I've seen a lot of situations where people's children have broke their arms, and then they get accused of, you know, abusing their child. Like, that could happen to any kid. Lots of kids fall and break their arms, you know? How do they differentiate who they're going to get in trouble and who they don't, you know? Yeah, I wonder. Tink is a nurse, so she would know if there's a checklist. Oh yeah, so I posted a video today, y'all, to share with you guys about the, what it's like chasing the high, because somebody asked that on another video, and I saw it, and I wanted to respond to it, so I made a video. And don't y'all know that TikTok muted my video? I guess I'm too, like I told you guys, I'm too Rated R for anywhere. They can't handle it because I tell it like it is. So they muted my video. I guess they couldn't handle the truth. It's the truth. Well, y'all know me. I was telling it like it was. Because it's the truth, though. Especially if you've ever shot methamphetamine. It's crazy. And that's what I was explaining about what it's like to chasing the last high of the first time that you shot. What it's like. Okay, she says their guidelines. We really look at the parent's behavior and mechanism of injury. Okay. You guys, y'all are so funny to me. Listen to this. This girl said, I can't believe you answered me. I'm starstruck. And I'm, what? Why did you? I'm not famous. Y'all know that, right? I know my regular people know that. But some of you guys crack me up. It's like, what? It's sweet. I like that. I like that you guys are so excited that y'all support me like that. I appreciate it. But I'm nobody. I'm just the same as you are. You know what I mean? I'm not anyone special. I'm just literally a drug addict who decided to make content online. Anybody could do it, Somebody asked me the other day if I'm a certified peer recovery specialist or something like that. And I'm not certified through the state of Arkansas. But I consider myself one. I consider myself a peer recovery specialist or a peer support specialist or a coach, a recovery coach. Now, I do consider myself a coach. Hey, Angel. I do like that you always answer. Yeah, that's hard work, girl. It's really hard to answer all the messages, but you know what? This is how I think about it. What I think about is when I would reach out to people that I look up to. And I still do. I still reach out to people. 110 days. Great job. I still reach out to people like bigger creators than me. And it always makes me kind of upset that they don't respond. Because I know how much work it takes to respond. It don't take nothing but 2 seconds to fucking say, hey, thanks so much for messaging me. Thank you for your support. Or even this. Copy and pasting the same message to everybody. So at least they get an answer back. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take a lot to do that. Excuse me. But a lot of people don't care. They don't care to answer back. No, I don't work with Jessica Kent. Me and Jessica Kent, I'll tell you the story about me and Jessica Kent. So, I have nothing against her now. I think she's amazing. I love her content. I actually watch her content quite frequently now, but probably like 4 years ago on YouTube, before she made it big, she had like 3,000 followers and I had about the same. We were both on about the same level. She had made a video about Suboxone. And in that video, she talked about how she can't believe that doctors would prescribe Suboxone for long term and that anybody that takes it long term is crazy. And I was livid. I was pissed. And so I made a response video right away. Okay, responding to her video and calling her out. Well, she's from Arkansas, or she lived in Arkansas, so a lot of people ask us if we are connected and we're not. Well, she saw my video and she immediately got my phone number because I had reached out to her before posting the video. I had reached out to her and tried to share with her how her saying that about Suboxone is damaging and can harm people because we're in recovery and we're not supposed to judge people's recovery. Well, she called me and she basically got me to take down my video. She was telling me that she was struggling and she apologized and she was in a bad place. And I was like, okay, fuck it. Like, I'm not a mean person. I'll take my video down, right? So I took my video down. she deleted her video, and I should have saved it. I should have saved it because people ask me this question all the time. So I went on about my life, right? I said, okay, you know, hopefully she'll learn from her mistakes and not do this again. Well, I turn around like a month later and she has this girl on her channel that's on MAT. Okay, so she had opened her mind and was actually supporting people on MAT, which I was so happy to hear that I had made an impact on her to change the way she thought, you know? And so I was like, hell yeah, man, she's supportive of Matt. Like, this is amazing. Well, it was like my inner circle on YouTube and her inner circle, like that we would kind of like lapse, like our inner circles would combine, okay? And so a lot of the same people I hung out with was a lot of the same people she hung out with. She was going around to all of our mutual friends, like talking mad shit about me. And they were coming and telling me. And I was just like, man, what the fuck? Like, and then she started blowing up, you know, And so I just have never fucked with her because of that situation. Like, it really upset me that she was continuing on like this toxicity, you know? Well, you know, 4 years pass by, 5 years or whatever, and she becomes friends with one of my friends, a girl named Mindy here on TikTok, and they become like really good friends to where like they're hanging out and traveling to each other's houses. Well, Mindy has always been a good friend of mine. She's always stuck up for me, you know, and so I remember her calling me and telling me that Jessica had brought up like our disagreement about MAT. And Mindy was like, well, what did you expect for her to feel like? Like, she's on MAT and she's trying to support people and stomp the stigma out. And here's this girl, you, coming on and saying it's crazy to be on subs long term, you know? And so after that interaction, I had saw her in a live stream of Mindy's, and I'm always the person who tries to extend the olive branch to somebody. So I said to her, I was like, hey, I really love your content and you're doing a really good job. I admire your drive, you know? And she was like, thank you so much. And so that's the last time I'd like ever talked to her, and we had a good exchange, but we're not besties by any means, and she has me blocked on this account, so you know what I mean? I worked there and they would actually hear you. Yeah, so I would love to go into the prisons. So I was talking to this lady that works in the prisons here in Arkansas, and she actually asked me if I would come and speak. But here's the thing. A lot of the prisons won't allow you to unless you are go in AA or NA, like you're coming from a anonymous program. And so what I would have to do is, like, I guess go up there and talk to them about it. I'm not sure though. Hey, good job, Stardust. I'm proud of you. That's awesome, baby. Good job. But I'm always up to connect with people. Like, if Jessica can't reach out to me today and was like, hey girl, let's do a video together, I would absolutely do it, you know? Or if she was like, just reached out to me to say, hey Nicole, like, I'm sorry about our beef in the past. It's all in the past. And honestly, the only reason why we had a beef was because I was sticking up for us on MAT, you know what I mean? Yeah, sure. What do you want to talk about, Angel? I'm fixing to get my car. I got to pick up my kid, so I'm going to have to put y'all down to where I can't, because I don't want to get my live cut off. Y'all will see what I mean in just a second. Now, I come out to California, well, I haven't been out there this year. I need to come out there and see Dr. B, because I work for Dr. B, so I come out there once a year or so. We were supposed to come out there and do my job, we were supposed to have a, what's it called? A team meeting, or a team, a thing where our whole team gets together and we all like do a team building exercises and shit like that. But I would love to talk in prisons, you guys. I would literally rock that shit out. Hold on, I have to put y'all down, so the TikTok don't cancel my live, but I can still talk to you guys. I would definitely speak, though. I would love to speak in the women's prisons because I feel like, the women could really relate to what I have to say. I guess I could start trying to get into that. And then they reoffend because they have nobody really, influencing them except for, and they reoffend because they have nobody really, influencing them except for other. I didn't learn anything to change, I actually learned more criminal behaviors while I was in prison. And I honestly just got worse. And then I ended up back, in trouble again, which I could have ended up back in prison. Thank God I didn't. But my son's school is literally like right down the street. Y'all will see when we get there. It's so close. That's another reason why I don't want to move far away from the house that we live in now. Because I want my son to stay in the same school. Now, as far as talking about things that are about addiction and recovery, what is something that somebody reached out to me about recently? Somebody reached out to me recently. They're on MAT, and they're struggling with overtaking their medication, which I can totally relate to. I struggled with that at the beginning of my journey also, and I think it's normal because us addicts, we think in our mind that more is better, and so if we don't get that, mindset changed, we'll just continue to overtake our medication and then run out early. So I actually made a video about it on Facebook Reels, and I was telling people, the best thing you can do if you're struggling with overtaking your meds is talk to your doctor about it. Let your provider know that you're overtaking it so they can call in more. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, hold on, guys. I'm not frozen. Y'all are sitting on the ground. Don't worry. I'll be back. I have to drive. That's why I got y'all down there. When I get to the school, I'll be able to pick y'all up. It's so pretty outside, y'all, too. It's hot, though. I ain't gonna lie about that. It's hot. It's 90 degrees here, which is cooler than it usually is this time around. Usually this time of year, it's like 105 or some shit. But we got hit with some rain, so that cooled it off. Aw, shit. The car rider line. Look at all these people out here. Woo. Lots of people. So I totally pass by the car rider line, y'all see, and I go and I park behind this church, and I walk up to get Nate. Because, baby, I ain't waiting out here and all this shit. Hell to the motherfucking no. Okay, is this dude gonna go? Yeah. Thank you. Here I go. Here I go again. Okay. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Okay. Nate's going to want to play. I know it. He always wants to play after school. It's so hot out here. Okay. Come on, break my heart. Okay, y'all. If you're still in here, you're an OG. Let me put my purse down here. With me, so hold on. Okay, cool. Alrighty then. Okay. Okay, now we're here. Let me get some different shoes on. I got my house shoes on. Okay. Okay, I gotta get my shoes on. Whoop. Hey, Tiffany, what's up, girl? Hey, Carla, what's up? Hey, Tiffany, what's up, girl? Hey, Carla, what's up?